Sweet Lord Almighty, here we go again. I know that recently there has been a slight uptick in Ben Simmons content, but well, you can't really blame me because I think this is slowly becoming the most dominant storyline of the NBA offseason, especially if you consider the fact that most of the other storylines appear to be coming to a close. I mean, Russell Westbrook got traded, free agency has ended, and the only questions that have remained unanswered for the most part are the fate of Ben Simmons, the fate of Damian Lillard, and what on earth is Bradley Beal doing? So before we get to the content, I just want to remind you guys I'm giving away multiple copies of NBA 2K22. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram or Twitter. If you're already followed, you have entered for a chance to win one of many copies. And now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? This type of video is very near and dear to my heart because it kind of brings me back to when I first started my career. I was making content on open runs that were provided by the same people, Chris Johnson Hoops and Swish Cultures. Make sure you check them out. I'll leave a link to their channels in the comment section down below if you guys want to see more footage of open runs and just the way players like to train and whatnot. But man, I feel like it's time that we jump into one of these videos because I feel really bad for people that, in my opinion, just get duped by these videos. You might be thinking, Mike, what are you talking about? These are players that are just working on their games. Why are you such a hater? And I'm not trying to hate on these individuals for working on their games. Rather, I'm trying to avoid individuals that look at their games and say, wow, coming into this season, we could expect specific skills from this player that we haven't seen before. And what do I mean by that? Well, at this point, you guys are no stranger to the Ben Simmons controversy and the Ben Simmons dilemma going on between himself and the Philadelphia 76ers. And while in the past, Ben Simmons' inability to hit jump shots were something that we would parody as NBA fans and just a part of the NBA community, this past year, it reached a level that we've never seen before. We got to a point where Ben Simmons had a noticeable drop in confidence right when his team was depending on him the most. And although I'm not trying to blame Ben Simmons 100% for the Philadelphia 76ers meltdown to the Atlanta Hawks, I would be lying to you if I said that I wasn't disappointed by his performance. And even furthermore, I believe the aftermath and the fallout of the Philadelphia 76ers loss to the Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference semifinal round of this year's playoffs didn't turn out to be extremely toxic, especially between the leaders of the teams. If you remember, Joel Embiid kind of came out and blamed Ben Simmons for the fact that he gave up a wide open dunk, mainly because what many of us theorized was that we all thought that Ben Simmons was afraid to go to the free throw line because he was just a horrible free throw shooter during this NBA playoffs. And ultimately, when Doc Rivers was asked whether or not he believes that Ben Simmons could be a championship point guard, which, with all due respect, Doc, you should have seen this coming from 1,000 miles away as a reporter bait question when you literally took the bait and gave the reporter and honestly everyone in NBA media wanted when he came and said this.
Yeah, David, I don't know that question or the answer to that right now. So I don't know the answer to that.
The aftermath was insane. As a result, Ben Simmons has been ghosting not only the Philadelphia 76ers organization, but Joel Embiid and Daryl Morey as well. We heard a plethora of trade rumors, some that were more feasible than others, like the Indiana Pacers offering Malcolm Brogdon and a first-round pick for Ben Simmons, or even something as bizarre as the Philadelphia 76ers trying to get 2 lottery first-round picks in addition to 2 future first-round picks, James Wiseman and Andrew Wiggins from the Golden State Warriors. Ultimately, this all culminated into what we discussed in our previous video, where Ben Simmons was ghosting the Sixers and he wanted to be traded to either the Sacramento Kings, Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Clippers, or somehow the Los Angeles Lakers, which I don't really know how that would be possible. And then we began to see something that was all too familiar. The yearly Ben Simmons workout montage, where we all look at Ben Simmons, and in the past, I am guilty of doing this myself, thought that this year was going to be different. Ben Simmons has been working on his jump shot. Look at Ben Simmons at these open runs being filmed by NBA trainers on NBA YouTube channels. This year is going to be different for Ben. Well, as a result, since we have so much empirical data in regards to Ben Simmons shooting these jump shots in open runs, I figured I would give you guys a nice little reminder of what ends up happening every single time Ben Simmons does these open runs and starts hitting jump shots. You see the footage in front of you with the yellow background and whatnot, which, by the way, shout outs to my high school. This was my private high school. We had like 60 kids going to this school back when I was younger, so it's kind of nice to see them come up and seeing a lot of NBA players train over here. But this was the first time I've seen any type of footage in regards to this. And bear in mind, this is after Ben Simmons' second year in the league. So when I saw this footage, a part of me got really excited because I felt like, all right, this is the first time I'm seeing this. Ben Simmons knows what's next in his development. This is what he needs to do in order to go from just a good player to a phenomenal player. And he started shooting threes. He started shooting fadeaways. He started operating out of the post a little bit more. And going into the season, well, Ben Simmons' post-up statistics weren't that bad considering how he actually worked on his game. He had a 11.3% frequency of posting up every single time that he took the court. Out of that 11.3% post-up rate, he actually only attempted 1.5 field goals per game, and out of the post-up, he made 51% of them, which, to be honest, isn't really that bad. It's just not something that he would go to as much as you'd expect. This put him in the 39th percentile amongst all other players. But what was even more disturbing is that year going into the regular season, believe it or not, wasn't even his best year. He did have his second best three-point percentage of his career, shooting 29% from three, which is pretty bad considering that he only attempted 0.1 threes per game. Honestly, I'm waiting for a year where Ben Simmons just makes 1 3 and then he doesn't shoot a 3 for the rest of the season, so we could all laugh at the fact that he had a 100% three-point percentage. But I digress, because the year after, we saw the same exact type of footage. Ben Simmons once again working on his three. This year is different. Brett Brown was the man that was holding them back, and lo and behold, when he came into the regular season, once again, he only attempted 0.2 threes per game and had probably one of the worst years of his career. So now we're in this situation where once again, Ben Simmons content is taking the internet. He's taking contested jump shots. He's pulling up from Curry range and making it. He's playing with his shirt off, so he's in phenomenal shape. This year is going to be different. And hey, look, I really hope it is different for him. I really do, because I'm rooting on this man to succeed. And if he develops a three-point jumper, I don't think you understand. This guy could easily be like a top 5 player or even a top 3 player in our league. But as the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. I don't know what comes after fool me twice. So I just felt like it was interesting to bring this to your attention before Philadelphia 76ers fans or Ben Simmons stands go out and say, hey, this man could shoot threes again. Just be wary, because we've seen this content before. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.